What do you mean you can't do it?
I'm too far away.
What do you mean it's just like a 6-7 hour drive? Help, I'm having technical difficulty.
I can't.
Is your arrival time will be like 3-4 in the morning? Is that okay?
I mean,
we can stream then, right?
I only have 11% oil life left in my car, so I don't even know if I would make it.
But listen, like, you could drive 7 hours to help me with technical issues,
and then you could get me an oil change.
One thing, we get you an oil change and we send you back, and then we stream.
Yeah, and then we stream.
And like you drive down here 7 hours and like I need help, and you're just like, Larry, your audio jack is just unplugged. Oh my god. Sorry, don't worry about it. Like, it's like, don't worry about it.
Definitely not a waste of my time and or money.
We could go to the Mall of America too, I guess.
Okay. We should just do that sometime. I should kidnap Courtney and Kenzie. And we should just drive over to you.
You could.
I know. Like, I'm very serious about that.
Oh my god. We could definitely make plans for next year.
That would be very fun.
Because it's, you know, for me, people are like, want to go do something, and it's like the dead of December, and I'm like, I'm cold.
Yeah.
It's chilly.
You need to book me a year in advance.
You need to give me a year in advance. Because for one, I would need a, like, I'm sure, like, my parents would not go like, oh yeah, I can stay over, but it's only... It's like, I would like, where y'all gonna sleep?
We just all crash on your floor.
I'm like, parents, these are the worst friends I talk about.
Yeah, these are the worst ones.
No. They're great. They're great. Don't worry about it. They apparently, according to the game, they might bite. But don't worry. I still can't get over SSO. It's like, and we might bite. And I'm like, I know. Okay, we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to have a little conversation
about this. Yeah, that ain't right.
Maybe you shouldn't encourage, you know, young kids to bite people because there's diseases.
Horse girls are disease ridden.
There's disease in my horse girl.
Hey, Katie, we're doing pretty good.
Are we streaming?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Hi, people. I didn't realize we were live. Don't mind me. Don't look at me. I thought we hadn't started yet.
If you would like to follow Lurie, she goes by Lurie Noodle.
I go by Lurie Noodle. I'm still getting situated in the game. I haven't even like promoted your links yet.
Plug yourself, Lurie. Plug yourself.
Oh, I'm gonna look up my card.
Yeah, do it. Lurie is an artist and an animator, and Lurie makes cool things with a yellow cat dog.
It's very cringe, but I am free.
It's very cringe. It's not, though. It's really not.
I know. I put it on Twitch.
Yeah.
Wait, is that where that person said words, or should I go on YouTube?
Oh, I think they're on YouTube.
I'm going over.
On YouTube. I need to actually like get myself a dedicated like chat thing on stream. I had one and then it got all messed up and then I just never redid it. But
they said they love me too.
Yeah. With a little winky face.
I'm just saying thank you. Don't mind me. I didn't even know we were streaming yet. I missed the champ.
Larry.
It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm getting a horse.
You're getting a horse?
I'm getting one of the Halloween horses because I'm not waiting for Star Stable. They're taking too long.
I know, it's ween time.
It's
Star Stable
time.
Give us the ween already.
I'm not gonna look. Well,
I have to finish. I have to finish training these horses that I just bought, the Appy and the Icelandic. Otherwise, I'm gonna be really upset with myself when I buy 2 more horses and then have to train those.
Yeah, I had those 3 shires, and I know like in that time of those 3 shires, there was the 2 new magic horses, the release of these 7 horses.
Yep.
I'm coming to you. I think you're in
Grove. Yeah.
I'm coming to you.
So tonight's probably just gonna be like me going around and trying to train at least one of these things as much as I can, and we can talk about the thing that we talked about kind of on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which would be horse games.
Horse game? Whee. Yeah, that's a question because I feel like a lot of people in the server are like in our I should mention that it's like a private server with all of us, so we don't have people being like, "Can I join?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I think the only other horse games, quote unquote, that I have played are Barbie Horse Adventure 2, where you rescue all the little ponies. Like all of the foals are missing. Like I played that religiously as a child to the point where I broke the PlayStation 2.
Oh my god. That's kind of awesome though.
Well, it's like I was like so excited, and I was turned around to tell my mom that I got all of the ponies, which does take a while when you're a baby child playing a game. And I pulled on the cord for the controller so hard it whipped the PlayStation 2 off of its thing and busted the disc, therefore losing all of my data.
Oh no!
So it had a corrupt save file, and I had to restart from the beginning.
Oh my god.
And then the other 2 horse games were Red Dead Redemption 2 counts, Red Dead Redemption 1 counts.
It sure does.
Skyrim counts as far as I'm concerned. I don't care if it's just a mount. It can go up a mountain, okay? That's an awesome horse. And then the Sims 3, where they have the horses.
Sims 3 counts.
So I think that's about it.
Before we get onto that topic, I see Katie in the chat. Since this is my first SSO Halloween, I need all the details and important things to do. I've been listening to your chats over it for a while, but I'd love to know all the stuff. So sounds like, okay, so for a while, Halloween used to be the same event every year. And then like, Larry, I think the year that you joined, which would have been 2020. Was it 2020 or 21?
I think I joined 21.
Okay, in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020 was not the first year they did Gallagher's Keep, but it was the first year that they had like that. I felt Halloween was a bigger thing, because it was like Yidris took over and they started doing the Galloper, like getting deeper into Galloper stuff and all that. But then last year they kind of did that, but changed it up again. And then this year it looks like they're changing it up again, which is nice. But it sounds like the Haunted Trail Ride is still going to be a thing, which like that's the number one for me. That's my favorite event. That and the Scarecrow Hill Race comes back, which is one of my favorite races in the game. And then Galloper's Gambit is coming back. And I don't want to spoil that too much for like Katie, if you said this is your first Halloween, I don't want to spoil that for you, because that's honestly like the surprise is 90% of the fun in that one. And by fun, I mean like screaming your head off in terror.
Yeah.
In terror. It's not that scary, but it's a little bit of a jump scare kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more like a harmless jump scare because you sign up for it. If you don't want to be jump scared, you don't
sign up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I was gonna say that, like the Gambit and everything, and they've been like you said, they're doing more with Galloper and his story and everything.
Yep.
This year will be interesting because now his horse has been completely updated.
Yes.
It
looks like they gave him a facelift too. Like,
yeah, I hope so. Maybe his model.
Yeah,
I didn't really get a good look, but
if anything, they might have redone the textures. Like, I don't know necessarily if they redid the model, but it did look to me like they redid the textures because he kind of looks like he fits the tack better. Like the tack that he's got on, which is also brand new. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I always tell people, since like people who don't know that I'm in the 3D animation business,
Yes.
I always tell people, because I think you too, as like someone who works professionally in horse models and stuff, is a model can look like the body or whatever of itself can look like shit or whatever, right? But depending on how you paint it can really make it look really good. And that's kind of what I think Star Stable's doing right now, because they're not replacing entire models, like updating entire models, especially structures, but they are taking the textures and like the mapping of it and updating that to actually make it look new when it's not technically new.
Yeah.
And I think they just did, I think they did model updates with some older races. But other than that, like their building structures and stuff have been updated. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of texture updates for, Galper Thompson's Keep.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
There's also, and this was, I hate saying like leaked when anything like comes out, like anything like spoilery comes out, but it's like, is that true? Is it a leak if somebody just finds it in the game files and puts it out? Maybe. I don't know. But
it's a leak. It's called data mining.
Okay. So on Instagram, I think it's one of the SSO update accounts. I can't remember like what the actual name is, but they found a room that appears to be called Vala Portal. It's kind of Doyle's Abbey looking, kind of like ancient ruin looking, like the stuff that's in the Great Thunder. So I'm not sure if that's gonna have something to do with like the Galloper Thompson quests that we're going to be doing with Linda, or if it's something else related to like Fort Maria, like something we'd be doing through Fort Maria. I'm not sure, but it looks really cool, so I'm excited.
Yeah, because like from last year's storyline, Morgan, I think that's his horse's name, went up to that area, and I think she was gonna go see Avala, basically. So I think they're gonna be tying that all in. So
yeah, she disappeared into Devil's Gap, which is where the Vala are said to be located.
Trapped. Yeah, all trapped inside. Are we gonna free the Vala? I want to free the Vala. I want a Vala girlfriend. That'd be great.
I want the Vala clothing.
Right?
That's what I want. Give that to me.
That'd be cool if they spread that out for like future missions. Kind of like here's some. But yeah, I think November they're gonna do. What I'm gonna predict is, of course, they're gonna release the Belgian horses in November.
Yep.
But I think they might also do another story mission. And I don't know if when the next time they're gonna do another like area update, because I know they've been updating areas just by texture wise.
Yes.
But I'm really hoping sometime next year, a little off topic, because they update Jarlaheim.
I know Jarlaheim's looking real crusty.
So crusty.
Jarlaheim and Jorvik Stables, or did they already do? They didn't already do Jorvik Stables.
Because
Herman's house still looks like it did in the original games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Those are my predictions, but I think for the Halloween we're gonna because the old last year they did the old MMO trick of this old model character disappeared, and now in the next mission you'll see him. So I was just like, they're gonna update the horse next year.
Oh yeah, you and me both. We're like, this is exactly what's happening.
I was just like, yep, they're updating the Shire next year. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting though. It's a shame there. I mean, I guess I know why they're starting it next week, because then if they started it this week, it would end the week of Halloween, the event.
Yeah, they're extending it into November purely because Halloween is on a Monday.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go
Halloween
until
is on a Monday?
It is on a Monday, yes.
Yikes for the kiddos. Haha, nerds. gotta go to school the next day.
I know, and that means that Moonlight Madness for my work is on Monday as well, because Moonlight Madness is usually, it's on Halloween, so that means that I'll probably have to be watching the website whenever that drops, if that's something I end up needing to do. But we shall see.
We shall see. But you need to.
I'm gonna run around.
Get that pony upgraded. Upgrade your horse.
Upgrade the haunts.
I'm gonna continue to gather monies.
Yes,
monies. I'm trying to just. Oh, I got a reward for. Oh, look at all things I did not take.
I finally got onto my second page of ribbons, but I feel like I'm not even really gonna need like a bunch of
too much money.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna have enough for Christmas. I didn't buy too much last year for Christmas, but now, because honestly, last year for Christmas, I was so burnt out from SSO.
Yeah,
because I did champs daily for like a month and a half before Halloween, and Halloween was a blast, but then after Halloween I was burnt out from this game.
The post-Halloween fatigue.
And I haven't been doing that this year because I literally still have the medals I got from last year. So I'm like, there's not like entire outfits. I think we talked about that, like entire outfits we want.
Yeah, a lot of it's gonna be like piecemeal, but then it's a matter of, okay, well, what am I pairing this with? Because it's probably like I might have to buy some stuff from the global store. So like I'm gonna try to get to a point where I have like pretty much max Jorvik shillings, at least like to start with, and then I know I've got upwards of like 20k in ribbons, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll at least get me a saddle.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
We'll get me a saddle and a shirt.
Heck yeah, when they're like, we're gonna have you pay 10k for this, and you're like, but why?
Yeah.
Why? The economy sucks.
Honestly, the Star Stable economy does suck. Like,
it really does.
Why are things... And this is, I guess, kind of leaning into, or a good transition point for the, like, what's our ideal horse game thing? We either need to stop with the whole, like, max stat things are 10k, or we need to have like a bank and the max that we can carry in our like the max money we can carry at a time be increased, because it's like, okay, you want me to spend 10k on something, and I do, and I blow the entirety of my wallet on that, and then I can't take a horse trailer anywhere.
Yep.
Like, because I used all my money. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it really needs a bank system would be very good for this game, so you can just pull the money out whenever you need it.
Yeah.
Or want it, you know?
Yep.
It's okay to teach young kids banking early. It's fine. Teach them how to be smart with their in-game money. So then they're smart with their real life money, but then you're also spending real life money in the game.
It could also be like, DC Online had an interesting system for that, like a banking system. You had a limit, like you have a limit of how much you can carry on you, but whenever you would gain anything over that, it would immediately go into the bank. But you couldn't access the bank unless you were like a paying monthly member.
Oh, jeez.
So like, just because Star Rider is such like I mean, I feel like that would be okay to do. I know that would probably piss a lot of people off. But as a non-star rider, when are you gonna necessarily use that much money? You know, like, I could see that being another perk that they'd say, like, hey, you can access the banking system if you're a star rider.
Yeah, another selling point.
Yeah, and like, I certainly wouldn't be mad about that, mainly because I already am a star rider. I think that would be fine. But also, like, at this point, with 10K being the max anyway, like, if they did like continue to say, okay, 10K is the max, but star riders have a banking system that they can use, I think that's perfectly valid. We'll see if that ever happens, though.
Sorry, Civil, if you're listening, we're slamming we're just wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Because they're also talking about, like, I understand that the horse bonding thing is a big deal, but I also think that, like, you should kind of get a handle on your, like, inventory and money system in an MMO before you, in any game, before you, like, go into the, like, I don't know, the horse bonding to me feels so secondary as of right now, because we've never had it.
Yeah.
You know, if it had been, like, an integral part of the game from the beginning, I think maybe I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, if you're going to update that first. But it hasn't, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I also understand why they're trying to develop it now, because the one thing I do, like, agree with why they're doing it is, yes, you can, like, feed and tend to your horse, but it's 100% optional, and there's really no perks of leveling up your horse right now other than it is faster. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then you know, a bunch of kids, you know, little kids with their wild imaginations are gonna be like, you know, role playing these horses anyway. Right. Like, my horse is this, and I see kids do it all the time. And it's kind of adorable when a kid runs up to you, rears, and they say, this is legit what a kid said. Hi, it was the pony champ. And they're like, oh, my horse is scared of ponies. I can't be around here. In say chat. And everyone was just like, okay. And they ran off.
That's awesome, though.
And it was like a level 3 player on a starter horse. It was very adorable. Yeah. You know, like, kids, like, when there isn't features, little kids will find a way to actually, like, make what they want happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is adorable. And I'm like, damn, I wish that were me again. But
I used to do that with the Barbie horse games, so I know exactly.
Yeah, I did it too. I did it with, like, any game that I played. If you had an animal to take care of, or if you were the animal, I'm just like, this is my animal, and it is very cute. But yeah, like, this bonding thing, I think will, like, not only, like, you know, it'll actually give an incentive to level up your horse, because I'm sure a lot of players who don't race, like, you know, in champs are like, don't really see the point of leveling up my horse. I just want to role play and run around. And now it's like, oh, you want that special move? Well, you gotta work for it now.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay.
And see, okay. I like that. I actually really like that idea. Because to me, that is fully incentive to level up the horse. If I get the horse to a certain point where, like, it can do cool things, or it has a special animation or a special gait, by all means, you can
whistle for it and not go back to your stable, like, hello.
Yes. Like, even that, you know, if you get to a certain point and you can whistle for your horse, because I know they did talk about adding that, but if you do make it like a level based thing, that gives me all the incentive I need to get my horse leveled up, because I don't get off my horse in this game for a reason.
Yeah. It's like, we're too slow. I mean, like, the game is meant for you to run around on a horse, but for the moments that you're not supposed to be on a horse, I'd rather be on my horse.
Right.
And I think they're erasing that. Oh, you have to pay start coins in order to, like, lead your horse with a halter.
Yeah.
That's going to be a new leveling up thing.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I know Kylie talked about like, oh well, what if they gonna refund us? And like, I don't think so.
No,
I can't see them doing that. It would be interesting if they did, but I think there's just too many people for them to
shift through. Yeah.
Especially
I never bought it myself because I'm like, there's no point of me getting this.
Right. I thought about it for a long time, but what is it? It's like 300 star coins or something.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of like $20. Essentially, almost $20. So.
Yep.
I'm not spending that.
No. I'm trying to think of like, so you said horse games. You played the Barbie games, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
I never played the Wild Horse one. I played Mystery Ride, which was actually like a puzzle game mixed with trail riding. So basically what happened was your friend's horse went missing and you had to go find it. There's a video of me playing it on our YouTube channel. I wonder if I could get it on Steam. It's really fun though. But it's so your friend's horse goes missing and you have to go from location to location, and like the riding in between is like, it's really pretty. Like the environments are super nice, and it still actually holds up pretty well for being like almost a 2-decade-old game. It's very pretty. But like, for an example, you customize your horse. You actually like pick the coat color, you pick the mane and tail color, and then like the style of the mane and tail, and then you can dress yourself as well as Barbie.
Okay.
You can there's stuff for you to do at the ranch, like at home base. You can go and practice your like slingshot shooting. There's a jump course you can go through, and then if you get out on the trail, you can go and like the first location is a campsite out by a really, really pretty like pond, the waterfall. And when you're out there, you have to look for hoof tracks. You have to look for the horseshoe prints, because your friend's horse has very distinctive horseshoes. So once you find the hoof tracks, you kind of do like a matching game of like, okay, well, this stud in the horseshoe looks like this stud looks like this, and you have to match them all up. That's fun. There's there's almost like Bejeweled kind of like games in there. There's actual like jigsaw puzzle kind of things. So like it's super fun. And then when you get to the end, you can actually play through everything again.
Oh,
so
that's
like
fun.
Yeah, so like once you find the horse and every single location is unlocked, you can actually just go back and forth and trail ride as much as you want and replay the activities over and over again.
Oh yeah, that would be great. That's good actually. It gives it a reason for like a kid to keep coming back to it.
Yep. So honestly, like I always had a blast playing it, because like we were talking about with the whole like role playing on Star Stable, is like that's what I would do, is I would have my horse, and then like once we were done with the mission, I'd just go back out and trail ride, or I'd go train or whatever. And it wasn't like you need to care for your horse either. Like you could go in and you were given a brush and some sugar cubes, and you could like feed and brush it, and it would make noises and like noises of approval and all that. But it wasn't like mandatory that you did that. So you were never like Star Stable, I feel like punishes you for not being on, or for not having money to pay for stable care.
Take care of your horse.
There are a lot of horse games that are like that though. Sims, you can disable that. Like if I go in, because I've also played Sims 3 specifically for the purpose of like role play within that. I'm actually in a couple different Sims 3 servers, and there's a couple things that they ask you to have. Like you should have the stuff to like photograph your horses, and you need like pose packs and different mods and stuff. and then you edit your photos, and you have a barn. Yeah, you have a stable name and everything, and you can compete in different events that the server has going on. So like a lot of that side of it is using Sims to participate in like a larger server. Like Sims is your vehicle. So there's nothing really within the game for you other than the actual horse models themselves. But I also have fun with The Sims 3 because of the customization of it. Like if you mod it, I can actually and I have done this, and this is kind of what I have the most fun doing, and I wish I could figure it out for Star Stable and Red Dead, is taking the horse textures and bringing them into Photoshop or whatever and making my own. I love that a lot, and that's probably just the artist in me, because that's like my job otherwise. But that was that's a big draw for in Sims 3 for me, is the ability to customize my coats.
Yeah.
Nee is here.
Hello, Nee. I'm disrupting someone's roleplay by trying to do chores, and they're like, go away. And I'm like, I'm trying to do chores. Your horse shit. Let me pick it up.
Also, right, as a little bit of a break and a segue for Courtney being in here, is I see in chat, Katie, Moonlight Madness spoilers, please. There is a just kidding. There's a just kidding after that. I know you're kidding, but also probably not kidding, because I wish I could tell you, but I can't. Because that is something I'm actually under an NDA for. But you guys will find out soon enough. I promise. I think I can say there's a couple old favorites, kind of. Not even old favorites, but just a couple favorites that we've expanded upon story-wise. So that'll be fun. And then there are some new faces as well that I'm really excited for you guys to see. I really want you to keep your job. Thanks, Katie.
You just reminded me I need to pull out my yearbook, because somebody saw me at work today and was like, hey Courtney, how's this going? And I'm like, who are you? I know I went to school with you, but I don't know who you were.
Oh no. Uh-oh, Courtney,
I just pretended to know who it was.
No, but don't worry. The Moonlight Madness stuff this year is gonna be really fun. I don't know if the reveals are gonna go in the same way that we did them last year, because I was in charge of that last year, and now I have nothing to do with that. The only real thing that I have done for Moonlight Madness this year is design the horses. That's been my job. But as far as promoting them and showing you guys, I don't really have anything to do with that right now. So I don't know what's going on with that, and that's not me trying to oh, I'm under NDA, I'm trying to avoid that. No, that's me being sincere. That's not my area anymore, so I don't know what's going on. I just know that the horses themselves, as far as the illustrations that I did, because I haven't seen any models yet either, but the illustrations that I did, I had a lot of fun with, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy.
Emma,
yes.
you don't have to say that yes or no or anything to this, because it could be a spoiler for Moonlight Madness.
Okay.
But did you draw a horse?
I mean,
you don't have to say.
I think that's a bit salacious, Lurie. I don't think I can say that on here. You're trying to get me fired.
No, maybe, I'm not sure.
You know what would make it worse? Emma, are they Halloween themed horses?
Oh my god,
Nee,
Courtney,
you can't say that. You can't ask that. I know I was toting the line of like maybe breaking the NDA, but that's just
Nee, that is classified information that I cannot talk about.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
god.
Emma's gonna wake up tomorrow on a Sunday and get a text from her boss being like, "You told people you designed horses. You gotta go."
Oh man. Oh boy. So, Courtney, what we were talking about before you got in here, like right as you came in here, is we just started to talk about like features in horse games or like horse like adjacent games
Right.
that we liked. So we were kind of on Sims 3, and because I think like everybody in chat, like, you know, like Sims 3 is not a horse game, like not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, but people can,
The
I've
horse
seen people
mods and
make
stuff
it
are
into
really
it.
nice, though.
Yeah, I've seen people literally make it into a horse game, like,
which is what I've done. I love.
Yeah.
I like, and sometime I actually have wanted to play it on stream before, or even just like record some, and put it up, because it's kind of been a while since I've been in there, so I don't exactly like remember 100% what I had set up. But a lot of the mods and stuff that I found and the objects that I could use, like, were just incredible, and they're all player made, and I think that's amazing.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess we're kind of like, I was going with that was, if you had a game that was Sims 3-esque, like if you kind of used like the shell of Sims 3, and you know, you took away like, and you don't have to take away the horse hunger and whatever, but like I do when I play Sims in that way, I take away like the horse and human hunger, because and like needs, like their basic needs, because all I want to focus on is the breeding, training, showing aspect, and like playing with genetics and taking really nice photos of my pretty horses that I bred, and, you know, putting in coat colors for, like, like making the textures for is what I was talking about when you popped in.
Yeah.
Because there is something really cool about like being able to, like, if you don't like how something turns out, you know, being able to make it yourself, or if you're in the customizing thing, you know, just being able to add your own markings or whatever. But it would be neat to have an MMO aspect to that, or if not MMO, like multiplayer aspect to it, I should say, where you can enter competitions in the game itself against other players. And whether you ride in that competition or not, like Rival Stars has a feature where you can either pilot your, you know, jockey the horse yourself, or you can pay to have a jockey and watch the race. And I think something like that would be kind of interesting for like a horse sim in that way, is because sometimes, yeah, I want to be the one piloting the horse and I want to race just like I'm racing now against other people. But sometimes if I'm like really working on the breeding and genetics portion of it, I just want to send horses to competition so that like you could say that like your stud fee increases if you have a really nice stallion, and the more competitions you put under the belt, you know, they get under the belt, the higher you can charge, or, you know, the more that trains the horse, and then, you know, so it passes on better genetics to the foals, or that kind of thing. So to me, it would be like, I guess my ideal horse game would almost be like a cross between like Horse Reality, Sims 3, and Star Stable. because I love the graphics of Star Stable. I don't necessarily think you need something as realistic looking as Sims 3. But also, I don't necessarily need a whole huge world made for me if I just want to make my little breeding barn and my ponies and exist in my little world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Star Stable has so many different places to choose from as far as like styles of barns and that kind of thing. But I feel like my main thing when it comes to horse games, especially with like breeding, is just having realistic genetics.
Yes.
Like, the idea of rival stars is good, but their coat colors look so unrealistic and their genetics make no sense.
Yes, I agree.
So, they kind of lose me in that sense, and it's like the way the tails are shaded makes them look off. Like they're just entirely, like the color on them is entirely off every time. So that bothers me enough to the point where I refuse to play it because it just bugs me that much.
Yeah.
But I would like to be able to ride the horses around, so I guess my ideal horse game would be like Star Stable, but in the sense of like horse reality, where I can train my horses and that kind of thing in the discipline I want.
Yep.
But they also have realistic stats.
Yeah. Yep. And I also see the appeal of like, okay, so I would really, really enjoy Star Stable if there was more playability to it. Like, and this is not me saying that I don't like Star Stable, and this is not me like bitching about what Star Stable has and hasn't done, because I see a lot of that on YouTube lately, and it does kind of piss me off a little bit, because like you're literally beating a dead horse, guys. You're literally saying the same thing every video. So like, please stop. Please stop. There's your complaints are valid. They're fully valid. But you could the nail is in the nail is in the coffin. Okay. It's in there. It's way in there. You can stop hammering it now.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of a story-driven MMO. And something that is maybe more along the line of Red Dead, because I really like Red Dead Online. I think it's wonderful.
You haven't played the main game yet, have you?
I have not played the main game, and I should, because it looks really good. And
it's amazing.
And what I've also seen from people that play the main game and finish it, because I have watched people play it, but I have not played it myself. But from what I've seen at the end, there is a bit of that replayability factor, because I've seen people like with their ranch and with their horses, you know, and doing stuff like that and modding it, because it's not the online version, so you can actually mod it. And I would probably have a lot of fun with that. I just have not. It's not something that I've gotten around to doing, and I feel like I don't know if I'd be necessarily like as apt to want to do it, because I can't customize my character the way I want. Unless there are mods for that. Are there mods for that?
Well, okay, the best thing about Arthur Morgan in the game is you can customize him pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you do with him. You have to make sure he shaves. You have to make sure he eats well. If you make him eat junk food all the time, he gets chunky.
I have seen that. But
and he's so cute, chunky.
But you know me. You guys know me. I have to put Lee. I have to put Lee in everything. So
yeah, and like, you can't. It's all about him.
Yeah.
But you fall in love with the guy, so it's like you're like, oh my god, he's my son, Arthur Morgan.
So like I do, that's why I like Red Dead Online, because I could actually make the exact character that I wanted to make, but then you do lose a few things because, let's face it, Rockstar has let the game just like go.
Right.
It's dying.
It's dead. It's dead. They always care more about GTA 5, which was released like 5 years before. Yeah. RDR, so they just didn't give. They still don't give a shit. I don't even know if they update it anymore.
They do.
Okay.
I follow the subreddit.
Okay.
And Rockstar does update it, but it's not like, it's nothing huge. It's like they give you a different like a role gets a specific thing every month. So like if you focus on these missions, you get better rewards for this month or whatever. Which is nice that they're still doing that, but some new content every now and then would be nice, instead of like, oh, this is going on sale, or you guys get free beans.
Yeah.
But I don't know, as far as like, to me, the horse models, and this might be a little controversial for some people, is I like things stylized as opposed to realistic, because if you stylize something, it will never look dated. It will never look unrealistic. So I like the horse models in Star Stable over the horse models in Red Dead. And the reason why is, and this is not me saying that I don't like the Red Dead models, because I actually really do. I think they're nice. But I feel like a lot of them look like generic horse, because they're so focused on being realistic that I don't necessarily think that they have 100% taken into account that, like, okay, like a lot of like the different breeds that you have in the game definitely have different features.
Yeah.
But Star Stable's able to exaggerate those features to the point where it's a pretty good caricature of the real horse. Like the Arabs in this game, I would take the Arabs in this game over the Arabs in Red Dead any day. Because to me, they fit more of the ideal characteristics that an Arab would have.
Yeah.
But you know, everything in Red Dead's still pretty. I also like the horse coats in Star Stable better, because they seem to have at least a little bit better grasp on markings.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they have like an actual hopefully whoever textures it, does the research.
I think they do, because and you came in way after this, is at one point they were mirroring their Pinto coats and their Appy coats, which it makes sense when you don't know what you're doing, but it also looks really weird because, in real life horses are not perfectly symmetrical, and they did get a lot of flack for that, but at least we're past that stage. Like, I'd rather see slightly unrealistic Pinto markings than a mirrored horse. But that would also be something where, like, okay, say you have, like, in a game you have these base coats and these base markings, and then, like The Sims, you can mod it. I think that would be, like, probably the ideal way to go, because everybody and your brother is gonna have, like, everybody is gonna complain about something relating to horse markings. So if you let people make their own in the game, or like give them the option to say, like, oh hey, yeah, like, just so you guys know, you can make assets for this game and plug them in, I think that would eliminate a lot of the, like, complaints about horse coats. I would hope. Except for the people who don't know how to make them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I digress. See, Red Dead and Star Stable are really like similar as far as like Red Dead Online versus Star Stable, but I think to me the main difference is Red Dead has a lot of like Red Dead Online has a lot of replayability because not only can you do like a bunch of multiplayer stuff, but there's constant like missions for you to do, and the map is huge. So like missions that are more exciting than like helping the furrier get firewood. You know, like that gets boring pretty darn quick. At least when I go to like do bounties in Red Dead, they're pretty much different every time. Like I'm never gonna have the same experience playing it.
Yeah. Those are all good points. Well, it's like I don't have enough knowledge of horse games to counter or say yeah, because I'm just like, I do not know. And while you're talking, you unlocked a hidden horse memory.
I did?
Yes.
What is it?
I used to also play, I never beat it because it was bad. Horses with the Z. I'm guessing you guys know that one.
Is it the Wii one?
Maybe. I think it was like on PlayStation as well.
Okay, because the Wii one, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, where you have to like save the wild horses, is that the one? No?
Nope. This one was like a fever dream wrapped up in an enigma.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to remember.
Because
I
have two horses, like pets horses games. One was for the DS, and that was where you could like adopt them and breed them like any kind of like almost like Nintendogs, but horses. Okay. And then the other one that I had that was for the Wii was the one that the Game Grumps played, where they like it starts out with like you riding your horse in a competition, and then like you end up spending the summer at a ranch, and you have to figure out like what's wrong with these wild horses and everything. And the thing that I remember most about it, because it's so ridiculously frustrating, but when you play it on the Wii, you have to play it with the nunchuck. So you're actually sitting there shaking both hands to get your horse to move. Because they're like, oh, your nunchucks are like the reins, and you have to steer, and you have to say, go, pony, go, in order for it to move. So it after a half an hour of shaking my wrists violently, I definitely I hurt.
And they need to turn them to steer. I think my friend had that game, but I only played it at sleepovers, so it's like. But the one I'm talking about was for the PlayStation. I don't think this one was ever on the Wii because you had to do dressage things. I didn't realize it was dressage at the time, and races and jumping.
Okay.
But it was like DDR handheld. It's like DDR. It's like when you had like all the symbols of the PlayStation controller is moving up on the screen. It's like gotta press square.
Oh, that's interesting.
Press triangle. So like that, the gameplay was okay. It was fine, but the story I think was your generic horse girl story. That was like. And the thing is, I was Googling earlier while you were talking, I was trying to find the picture of the main character. It's such an obscure, shitty game that, of course, no one has the picture of the main character, but she looks like me. Oh, God. Like short ginger hair, the chubbier face kind of thing. And, but the thing is, it's like, oh my gosh, like you're going to, it's me. But also, like, this is when I was baby, so I didn't realize I was gonna look like her when I was But I was like, oh, she's ginger like me, and now I am her.
Oh my God, okay.
But it's all British, takes place in Europe. Basically, you're doing races at all these different competitions in different countries. You have a rival and her director or whatever, and they're like complete dicks. I remember them being British assholes. Like, you're never gonna be better than me. And like part of this, like you'd have to do all of like dressage, jumping, and racing, and have a certain score in order to progress the story.
Okay.
And like there would be like, from what I vaguely remember, like they would steal your horse and things like that. Or someone would go missing because of them, or there was a storm and you're out trail riding, you had to get back before the thunder rolled in, or your horse would get freaked out.
Interesting. Okay.
But how the game started though, or like, hi, this is your summer like equestrian school, and then it starts on fire. And then you're like
oh my god.
And everything is burning around you, and like you're like, and then everyone's like, everyone get out, oh my god, there's a fire. And then you're like, oh my god, no, there's a horse still stuck in the barn. I need to go save the horse. And I don't remember if it's during or after the fire, because like, you go and save the horse, and that is the horse you're bonded to because you saved it in the fire. And I think it's like, I'm pretty sure it was after you saved the horse, but it was like, oh my gosh, you saved it from the fire, time to customize it. And it's like, okay. And then of course you'd have your like, you have to clean out their hooves, you have to feed them, you have to clean up their shit. Like, it was pretty, like thinking back on it, it hit every kind of like, there was no free riding, you couldn't really free ride necessarily. But it had dressage, jumping, racing was kind of like free riding, just with pressure, and then taking care of the horse. Other than that, you're like walking around talking to like the other NPCs and shit. And yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Just like,
it sounds like, I mean, it does kind of sound like generic horse game, because I could kind of rattle off a couple that are almost just like that.
Exactly. I'm guessing that is the horse game standard.
Yeah. A couple other ones that stand out to me, and these are ones that a couple of which I think I've played on the YouTube channel, is the Let's Ride Dreamer one, because Let's Ride was like the big horse game, like they had everything. Let's Ride they had everything from like dressage and show jumping games to like to Western, you know, so and some of them were story driven, some of them were not. So they were kind of like the horse game tycoon of the early 2000s. I don't think they're making games anymore. Like I think that whole thing is disbanded, but they had Let's Ride Dreamer, and that one was it says it was based on the Dreamer movie. Definitely was not. Like there's no way. But it was really interesting, that one, in that you could play it story mode, or you could just free ride and train however you wanted to, as if you like almost like as if you were playing story mode, but without actually having the story behind it. So like you'd still have to like level your horse up and stuff like that, but you wouldn't have to do it according to any kind of set rules. And that one was you could tack up your horse however you wanted to, but a lot of the like events that they had you do were like English riding. And you could go on trail rides. There wasn't like a huge open world, but you could actually like go into the woods, or like I think they had 2 or 3 different areas that you could go trail ride in, and one of them was you could go out in the snow, and I thought that was cool. Like, pick the environment that you want to go ride in. But the mechanics were really clunky. The horse model itself was really clunky. It would always glitch out. Like the textures would glitch out all the time.
Oh no.
What else? What other one was there? Let's Ride Silver Buckle Stables is one that just recently got put on Steam, and I think it's only $5. and that was my absolute favorite horse game growing up.
That was really fun.
I think that was the last Let's Ride game that I have seen, anyway, because that almost came out in like 2010, 2011. Like, I think that one was like a later one, and that one was all Western riding. You could have up to like 4 horses in your stable, I believe, all of which you could customize. And like, as you got better as a rider, your horses would get faster and faster. They'd be able to turn better. But that one was basically like, you start out, it's all speed related. So like barrels, pole bending, like any kind of speed race. And you're basically trying to be like rodeo champ. And that was really fun. Like, you just work your way up the ranks as a rodeo rider, essentially. And then you could also, like, you had a ranch that you could walk around in, and you could go out trail riding, and the environment was super pretty. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot out there for trail riding, but you could leave the barn and then go, and all the different venues that you rode in were all different. Like, every time you went to a competition, the venues would get more and more extravagant until, like, your final competition, you're in this huge, crazy rodeo arena with, like, the spotlights on you, and it was actually really fun. And the one that came right before that from Let's Ride that had less of a story to it, and was basically just like a go run speed and see what your best time is, was like Let's Ride Corral Club. That was fun because that had a lot of the you could still customize your horse, you could customize the tack on it. I don't know if you could customize your character, but that one was basically like a high score, like, driven thing. And then the other, there's several Let's Ride ones, but then the other one that sticks in my head is Let's Ride Legacy of Rosemond Hill. Let's see if that brings up any memories, because I see the stream chat going, oh my god, the memories. Like, Legacy of Rosemond Hill was another one that I was big on, and that one was purely story driven, where, like, you, the main character, have been given a horse by a relative. The horse is boarded at this facility, and I think it was like, basically, if you board at this facility, you have to compete. And that one was all cross country and show jumping, I believe. I don't know if there was dressage in that one, but that one was really cool because the story was, from what I remember, the story was actually pretty decent. And then when you were done with story mode, or if you were between, like, challenges, you could go out and free ride whenever you wanted, which was nice. But yeah, like, there weren't a lot of, like, there wasn't a lot of variation in horse games from, like, the PC games anyway. And then now, like, some people that are really into the racing aspect of it, the only two games that I know of that are more into the racing than the horse sim or, like, story part of it are Wild Shade and Alicia Online. And at this point, I prefer Alicia over Wild Shade, just because Alicia doesn't make you jump through hoops to see your cosmetics on your horses that you've already paid for.
Yeah.
But anyway, Alicia seems a little sketchy when you go to download it, but I promise you it's fine. I promise. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'd say that's
Horse games.
that's Emma's 2 cents right now. I know, like, yeah, Lurie, the only ones you played are like the Barbie ones and Star Stable and Sims, but I feel like at some point, even if I just stream it to Discord, I should show you a couple other ones, because some of them are definitely hot messes. Absolutely hot messes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're not fun, but definitely, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, there are there are 3 different games that I think, or like types of games that I think the horse gaming community wants. I think you have people that want something along the lines of an MMO, like Red Dead Online, like Star Stable, that you can collect horses and go out and do quests, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a realistic storyline, but it's the thrill of exploring an open world on a pretty horse and collecting as many horses as you want and doing quests and hanging out with friends. Like that's kind of one. That's one game. Then you have the people that want something more like your standard breeding sim. So Sims 3-esque, horse reality-esque, like any of your horse like breeding games online, your browser-based games. You got stuff like that. And then you want the people, or then you have the people that just want a standard racing game that's almost like, it could be like real horse racing, like you see in Rival Stars, or there are a couple other ones that do that. Photo Finish, I think, is another one. Or something more fantasy along the lines of Alicia Online and Wild Shade, where it's Mario Kart-esque, and you can pick up power-ups and, you know, customize your horse with all this, like, really cool but definitely not realistic tack, and, you know, like just have fun racing in fantasy worlds. Like, those are the 3. And I don't think we're ever going to see a game that has all 3, because I think that would be unrealistic to ask for. They're 3 completely separate things. I think you could combine the breeding aspect, like the genetics and horse sim aspect, into either of those. But you're never going to see one with all 3. There's just no way. It's too much. Because the people that want to play the racing game are not going to be happy necessarily playing the sim game. And the people that are playing the sim game are not necessarily going to be happy running around in an MMO where they have one set story and they can't make up their own.
Yeah.
If I had the money and the time, we could work on a video game, lads.
We could. I mean, you have the skills to make a bit. You also have the skills to make like one of those breeding games, but then that horse reality is already, right, I'm guessing, kind of there.
Yeah, like there are. I happen to go on Kickstarter the other day because Kenzie and I were looking at horse board games, and when you type in horse games on Kickstarter, you actually end up looking at a lot of browser-based breeding games. And I mean, it's like what could we make that hasn't already been made? And when you're looking at like the breeding games, I mean, Horse has been around for years. Pony Box has been around for years. Horse Reality is probably the best one right now, and then you've got like Hunter Jumper Sim or whatever. And you know, every single one of those is almost essentially the same thing. So it's hard to come up with anything like new and different in that regard, unless you were to add like, and Pony Box did this, but they never like, Horse Reality generates your graphics for you, like, because it's based on real genetics. They have like certain combinations of stuff that it can be. Pony Box let you like upload an image for your horse, which resulted in a lot of art theft. I'll be real. Like, a lot of art theft. But you know, it was like that kind of left it up to the imagination of like you could create what your horse looked like. So that was fun. That's actually how I made a lot of my money on that game, is because I was a baby digital artist, and I would draw people's horse pictures, and I would charge them in-game money. So I was like a millionaire.
Hell yeah!
It was crazy. That was kind of fun.
Smack that on your resume.
That was also, and you're gonna love this. Is Ponybox had forums, okay? Ponybox had forums, and Ponybox was where I first started role playing, writing, and doing that. So so like a lot of people, So it's like you think about like when people ask you on Tumblr like, oh, where did you first start role playing? And people are like, oh, DeviantArt, or oh, MySpace, and I'm like, Ponybox. I played on Ponybox.
Like a real man.
Yeah.
I started on Tumblr. I ain't got no fancy story. Like, I started on Tumblr, and I'm here. I'm still here.
I was born on Tumblr, and I'll die on Tumblr. Oh, yeah. That's really cool. Yeah.
Like, just that's kind of how you got your start, and now you're doing it professionally, and people are spending major monies, real major money for it.
Yeah.
People still do that on you know, like I'm on some like breeding sim game, like Flight Rising is a big one. I don't really touch it really anymore.
Sure.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting to go on their forums page, and people are like, I am drawing dragons if you give me in-game currency, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just you know it's been probably 10 plus years for you since you did that, but people are still doing it. It's time is an endless cycle.
Oh my goodness.
I do unfortunately have to hop off stream because my parents wanted to watch a movie tonight, and they're like,
what are you watching?
I think it's like that comedy where like this woman is a writer for like a treasure hunting book, but then like she gets told
to go on. Such a good movie.
Is that the one with Daniel Radcliffe?
I think so.
It's because it's Daniel Radcliffe, and is it Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock, yeah, and then what's his face? What's his face? That looks like that Chad looking man. Yeah. So they're like, I was like, well, I told them, well, I do have horsies tonight. And they're like, well, how long does that go for? And I'm like, as long as we talk. I don't know. There's no end time.
There's no end to the horse game.
There's no end to horses. Horses are eternal.
Yeah.
Why do you think there is in it? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll probably hop off. Okay. This was like really like I've been enjoying listening though to your commentary about everything. So just like this ain't necessarily my rodeo, but it's just like it's just interesting, like just from because horse games are their own game genre, all on their own. Yeah. So it's just, it's always like a fragment of some bigger game.
Right.
It's just interesting to hear. But I'm gonna head off.
Good night, Lurie. You have fun.
Night. I will, and you good night, stream. Good night. Whee!
Yeah, the whole like reason that like I started thinking about this is because my boyfriend brought it up when I was staying at his place for a little horse show. Is I was talking about Star Stable. I was reading him the game journal, and he plays League. And he plays Monster Hunter. And he had asked me, like, he asked me to watch Monster Hunter, like, watch him play Monster Hunter. And I was kind of like, oh, like, the game that you're playing, like that exact game that you are playing, Monster Hunter, is basically like what everybody wants to see in a horse MMO. Like, all I want out of a nice horse MMO is like something that I can go and explore the big open world on and do crazy quests and whatever, but I want to do it on a horse.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's it. But like I said before, that's a different game than like I'd have just as much fun playing a like a breeding game, like a genetics based game, like The Sims. You know, so it's there's a lot of different directions that you could go in for a horse game, and I just whoa. Gosh darn it, that's what no, I thought that's where you wanted me to go. Hang on. Lucy? Hey. You okay, Gooey? Somebody sneezed and woke herself up. It's okay, Gooey. Oh, yeah, stream. Do you see the dog back there? Lucy? Where's she? Say hi, Louie! There she's just in the void. Yep, hi, Gooey. She's just hanging out. It's just us tonight, and we vibing, hey? Yeah. Oh God, she got me. Oh God, she's got me. Louie, I need to get back to horse game. Don't look at me like that. Let me go. No, let go. She grabs my arm. she likes to grab and hold. It's like, please don't. Please let me go. Okay, I'm gonna try the symbol thing again because clearly I was distracted. Alright. Ta-da! Oh, so I have a like slightly uneventful story from today. So I had to order a bunch of stuff because we're getting ready for like the Christmas event season. That sounds horrible to say, but it's coming, everyone. It's coming. We already had snow. It's coming. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that like I need to get ordered for sales that we have coming up, and that includes on my list to get today was I had to order an event banner, which if you guys are on Instagram, I've been working on it. I've been posting little updates because I've been having fun with it. It's gonna be almost 7 feet tall, so I made it look like a stall door because it's actually gonna be like pretty much life-sized. So I think that's gonna be fun, so I had to get that today. And then I sent out an email with some updates earlier, and that included a mention of the coloring book I've been working on. So I ordered the coloring book today, and then I also had to order us a new credit card reader because the one that we've been using is horrible, and it doesn't actually like work with our new site anymore because we're doing everything through Wix, so I need a Wix one. And I did all that this morning within the span of an hour, and then I get an email from our credit card company that was like, hey, you made some suspicious purchases in high amounts from locations you've never purchased from before. We're basically freezing your card. And I was like, oh my God.
Fun.
Like I have to, and this afternoon I had to go buy stamps because I had to send out the rest of Dryad. So, and I was out of stamps. And I was like, oh no, the card can't be frozen. Like, what do I do? And my parents are not home. And it's my mother's, business credit card. And so I had to call her. She was driving. I had to call her. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if you're aware, but apparently all of my purchases from this morning got flagged. And she's like, oh no, they called me. She goes, I'm very aware. I'm very aware that they think that you're that you're out there making fraudulent purchases. So she had to call their credit card company today and get that straightened out. But it's all good now. And I have all that stuff coming, so yeah. Alright, I'm running over to the Baroness's champ. Lucy? Lucy? What's going on, Lucy? I will get over there and then I will put Dog on stream. Because I'm sure people would much rather watch Dog than me.
For the life of me, cannot figure out who that person was that I saw today.
Oh, are you looking through your yearbook?
I couldn't find my yearbook. I know I have it somewhere. I just don't know where right now.
Because
I cleaned the other day, so everything's lost.
Oh.
Because that's how my brain works. If I clean, then I lose everything.
Yep.
But, like, he looked familiar. I went and scrolled through, like, this one person's following list that follows most of the people that I went to school with. And it wasn't on there. So I'm like, who the heck did I go to high school with that would know who I am enough to the point they would recognize me in public and say hi to me?
Right. Because the thing is, like, when somebody you went to high school with not only, like, has a moment of recognition, but then actually, like, comes up and says hi to you, they clearly have, like, pleasant experiences with you.
Exactly.
So...
I'm like, he wasn't tall, he was about my height, and that's what's really throwing me off, because all of the blonde dudes I know from high school were really tall. And I'm like,
no.
oh my god, who is this person? I'm so
oh my god.
confused. I don't know.
Okay, Gooey. Let's see.
Yeah, I just saw my yearbook the other day, and I don't know where that was.
There she is.
Him struggle.
Wait, hang on. I'm working on it, guys. Last time I did this, I only did it on Discord. Ooey. Yeah. There she is. You say hi? You say hi to the peoples? There's just... Yeah, the two people that are watching on Twitch. This is my dog. Goose. Goose is not happy to be up here. Goose does not like going upstairs. And it's not because she exactly has trouble going up the stairs. She's very low to the ground. So it's a little bit of a struggle. But she's up here. She's up here. She's vibing. I got you chicken nuggies for dinner. Yeah. I got you chicken nuggies and french fries. And you have that for lunch tomorrow, too. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Nee. Whoop.
Oh, so the story behind that is...
Yeah.
Somebody else at Michael's is named Courtney, but it's Courtney with a K, and Kenzie's like, well, you have to pick a new name now. I vote Nee. I was like, well, guess my name is Nee now.
As there's like 3 Ashleys, or no, 2 Ashleys in our server. Two Stephanies in our server, because I think Kylie's name is actually Stephanie, pretty sure. But it's funny. It's funny to me that all of a sudden you popped up one day and your Nee, because you were our only Courtney, but now we have Nee and Neon. So good job for making it less confusing, bud.
Well, and then there's Kenzie and Kylie.
Right.
And I guess Carly, too. You can throw that one in there.
Yeah, literally, we have Courtney, Carly, Carmen, Kenzie, Kylie.
That's how it is on my mom's side of the family, though. Like, all of the cousins have a "k" sound at the beginning of the name.
Oh. Lucy, you're pointy. I don't know if you guys can see it on stream. She grabbed me. I'm not going anywhere. She's got her little arms dug into my big arm.
Yeah,
Ow.
So.
Ow, dog.
Courtney, Kaylee, Colin, Kenzie, or not Kenzie, Kelsey, Caitlin.
Uh-huh.
And then that might actually be it. But then there's a Caitlin on my dad's side of the family, so it's just a whole mess.
Uh-huh.
There's too many. I was the first one though, so they can check off.
I'm the original. Oh no, it's licking me. Oh god. Lucy. Lucy, please. Oh my goodness. she's
I am
she's
very
so
much
sweet.
enjoying working at Michael's.
That's good.
Like, I know I've been there for like a couple of days, but I don't dread going to work.
That's important.
And, right. I hate going to the gym. I really hate it.
Louis, it was just the wind. You're okay, Bubba. There's one thing I dislike about being left here by myself is that I kind of live out slightly in the middle of the woods. And like every now and then the wind will be weird. And we'll hear things. Lay back down, please. We'll hear things and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is that? And it's just scary because you're here by yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Could be worse. I could be throwing pebbles at your window.
You could, but I would know if you were out there because we actually have a motion sensor light. So you don't fool me. I know you're not here. The motion sensor light has not gone on. Hi, Lou. We actually have a bear in our neighborhood right now. Like,
that's so fun.
Yeah. Somebody was feeding the deer, and then, oops, bear. I don't know how big it is. I mean, yeah.
Black bears aren't very big, so.
No, it's got to be a black bear too. Like, we don't really have anything else around here, but
we don't have anything else. We just have the black bears.
Yeah.
And they're pretty docile for the most part, so.
Yeah.
If anything, if Lucy barks, it'll run away.
Yeah, she, I don't know if she would bark or not. That's the problem. She might be like...
then you can bark at it and it'll
Yeah,
run away.
I'd bark at it. I'll bark at it. Hi, Lou. I think she's kind of alert to, like, wind and stuff anyway. She is a little bit of a fraidy cat, but she's also, like, waiting for my parents to come back. So she thinks that everything is them coming back. Not tonight, Bubba.
She nervous.
Tomorrow. She might also be warm because it's a little bit toasty up here, but I'm not opening the window because it's too cold. Like, sorry, Gooey, you're gonna have to deal.
I had to turn the heat down today because it felt like a sauna in here, even though it was 71 degrees.
Yeah. Today has been a weird day for, like, weather, because yesterday it was what? It was 30, like, it wasn't
30
quite...
and snowing.
Okay, but where I'm at, it wasn't quite like freezing. Like it was like 34. So it was sleeting, which is worse.
Yeah. Right. It was snowing overnight, and then like pretty much by the time I went and visited your mother and Kenzie, it was like 40, but it was still real chilly.
Yeah. Yep. So I was also there, but I had left by the time that you came.
I could only go after work.
Yeah, I spent the morning with Kenzie. It was me and Kenzie. We were vibing.
Yeah.
Yep. We went
to work at 7:45 this morning, and I got home after 8.
Oh. So, Courtney, Kenzie and I were looking for some board games to play.
Right.
And did she happen to tell you about the one that we were like most excited about? This is gonna sound absolutely ridiculously stupid to anybody watching this, but just know that it would be a level of stupid that would pull out like the most chaos from us. So Kenzie and I found it's not really a board game. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle game. And it's a little arena. This is all made out of wood. It's a little arena, and you have 8 jumps. And I guess there are 80 ways to put the jumps in a certain order that the horse and rider can get through the course and make it to the end of, like, make it to the exit gate. And like supposedly it's like a brain teaser. Like some of them are really easy because I guess like the pieces must lock in certain ways, and they only lock in those ways. And we just, because all of us are some level of stupid, we thought that because the game is meant for 7 to 8-year-olds, that we might have a blast with that, because we'd probably have a pretty hard time. But yes, I see Katie in the chat. Herd Your Horses. That's also on our list.
I love that game.
Herd Your Horses is stupidly fun. Kenzie has not played it. Kenzie had no idea what it was. Yeah.
I was obsessed with that game for the longest time. I would sit in my room for hours playing it by myself. Yeah,
and the artwork is gorgeous. You're right, Katie. The artwork is seriously pretty. I am debating on, because I do already have a version of it. I have like the original version of it. I don't think anything's changed, but I also don't know if the version that I have, like the actual game that I have, has all the pieces in it. Because I know I lost the the actual like tokens that you move around, because I've had to play it with mini winnies. So I'm not sure if I should like go get a new game, because I found it on Amazon. Just to make sure that it has everything in there. Or if we can kind of deal with what we've got and we'll just find or make game pieces. Dungeon and Dragons inspired game by T-Turtle. I've heard of T-Turtle before, but I don't know if I know that game you're talking about, Maria. We also looked at a couple card games. One of which was Equestrians Against Normalcy, which is a Cards Against Humanity. I hate to say ripoff, but like that's what it is. It's like inspired by Cards Against Humanity. That would be a really, really fun one. It's definitely slightly inappropriate, but again, we're not necessarily a G-rated YouTube channel either, so that's not a huge deal. And then another one that Kenzie and I found is, oh my god, Unstable Unicorns. It's called Unstable Unicorns. And you have to make your unicorn army and then like attack other people with it. And supposedly it was actually like voted like toy of the year in 2019, which is crazy. It's like a People's Choice thing. Ooh, Here to Slay. I will look at that. I'll look at that because that sounds interesting. And then we have Breyerfest and Horseopoly. I have both of those. So those are on the list.
I've played Horseopoly, but not the Breyer one.
I haven't played the Breyer one either. The only reason that I have the Breyer one is because we ended up with it when we bought out the riding club. So that's where I got it from. Because we kind of figured, we're like, how do you ship that? Like, it's a huge board game. Like, we can't find a way to ship that.
No.
And then we just hung on to it because we're like, well, we have a bunch of like Monopoly games. Like, my parents have like collector's editions and NASCAR Monopoly, and we had the Horseopoly one. So we're like, we might as well add it to the pile. Just for a rainy day. And we've never touched it. I actually think it's still at the store. But one day, we're breaking it out. Oh, I've never been hit by the backhoe before. Are you kidding me? One day we're gonna break that out and play it. But there's another one.
Terrible.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm in 5th and you're in 8th, so you're doing okay.
I'm stuck on the oil slick.
Oh no. No, not the oil slick.
My God.
You can do it.
Oh my God. Every jump is just not working.
You can do it, Courtney.
Can I?
Yeah.
There's too much faith in me.
There's one more board game that, and this is probably the most expensive one. I think this one was like $60, but it's called Fantasy Ranch. And I thought they had. I
saw that when I was looking at games.
I thought they had a Kickstarter because I remember it. I thought they had a Kickstarter, and I thought they had gone to like a couple different horse fairs. I thought maybe that I had seen them with a booth somewhere, but I don't remember where, because I don't think they were ever at Breyerfest. But I definitely remember them having a booth at some horse fair. And like maybe it was even festival for Pony Club that they were at. But I remember them working on the game and being like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, that looks like it could be cool. Well, now they finally have a full game. And it's released and you can buy it. I just don't know, like, what you actually need to do. So I'd have to do some digging, because we were trying to figure out like what would be fun for all of us to play together on camera versus what would be fun for us to just play by ourselves if we're hanging out sometime. Because I feel like there's stuff that would translate better to YouTube versus like us just having fun on our own.
Yeah.
So, but that's on our list of upcoming content. Everybody is we want to have some board game nights and upload it to YouTube. Because that's pretty much like the main content that we can make in the dead of winter when we can't do anything outside because it's too cold. So look forward to that. We also need to set up some kind of a date for us to talk about our Breyerfest 2023 predictions.
Yeah, we gotta get on that.
We really do, because at some point, like in the next probably 2 months here, they're probably gonna release the Celebration Horse.
Kenzie just made a post about that recently. I thought that about like maybe they released that in October.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I know the calendar's like all skewed for me as far as like what's coming out when because of the supply chain issues. Yeah, because we're still waiting on a bunch of stuff from Breyer, which I also wish and this will probably I'll probably hop off stream here in a second, but I just want to say this is I know a lot of people seem to be really upset about the fact that the CCA models that they're doing are the same as the ones that they've done the past 2 years. And I would like to politely remind people that your dealers and their the parent company and the dealers, we don't have like hardly any of the new product. So they're trying to do CCA and they're using what they already have in stock. Like, I'm sorry, like, just let them live. Like, Breyer's not purposefully doing it. There's no way. With the way that they've like had to do, or the way that they've done CCA the past, since they started it, was they're trying to take stuff that, that's relatively recent and gloss it and put it back out there for everybody. But with the supply chain issues, this is probably all they have. Whether or not it's glossed already or whatever. I'm assuming it's all glossed already because to me that's how that would work. But yeah, so don't be too hard on Breyer because they're reusing the same models. It just if you don't have anything that you want, then don't participate. Like, don't just do it to get the glossy that you think you're gonna resell at like $200-$300. It's not really.
You're not gonna be able to anyway.
It's not worth it. Only do it if you think that there's stuff you need from Breyer and that there's actually a model in there, the glossy, that you think you're gonna want. But yeah, Maria, I see your comment, and like if I really knew that I was gonna get the glossy Smarty Jones, I'd go for that. That would be worth it for me. But everything else I don't necessarily. The glossy Tovero Smarty Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's the only one that I would want.
Exactly.
But there's a 1 in 9 chance not even 1 in 9 chance of getting that. So.
Yeah. Yep. I could kick myself though, because technically I could have gotten one of those, like not a glossy one, but I could have at least gotten one of those, because when we ordered the or at least when the first set of those 70th anniversary models came out, or 70, is it 70th? 70th, yeah. The first set of 70th anniversary models that came out, our case pack had like, oh my god, I think we had 4 or 5 of the Pinto Smarty Jones. And I had thought about, because like I had told my mom, I'm like, I'll probably end up buying one of those, like the Smarty Jones or the Hamilton, depending on what we get. And then I saw it in person. I was like, I like it, but I'd rather, like, because we had customers that had been waiting for a while, and I was like, you know what, they can have them. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever. And then every case pack of those we got after that didn't have a single chase piece in it, and I was like, like, maybe I should have gotten one. Maybe I should have nabbed one when I had the chance, but it's okay. I'm trying to stay away from collecting the regular runs anyway. I have limited shelf space, so. But I'm gonna pop off stream. We'll be on Wednesday for the Halloween stuff starts. I'm excited. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna do spooky things. So, goodbye stream. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys.